This daf Yom Yerushalmi Terumos. In the article Oz V'Odar edition, we're on daf Samach Hamad Aleph. On the fourth line down, Rabbi Avo B'Shem Rabbi Shimon Lakish, and that is in the Vilna on daf Lamed Gimel Hamad Aleph. The 1, 2, 3, about 7th line down, Rabbi Avo B'Shem Shimon Lakish, and then we're going to be as close for. There's a lot of casualties yesterday, killed, wounded in the war in Gaza. Kosh Baruch Hu, exclusive our learning, should help them overcome our enemies. Okay, so Rabbi Avo B'Shem Reish Lakish. Now, normally it's Rabbi Avo equating with Reish Lakish, but here evidently it's somewhat different. It means Rabbi Avo wants to assist Reish Lakish, who said, Fail Beinam, and we had a couple of shadim yesterday. Where Meir says fail by Baisa, but I'm going to fail partly. So the Almaz Adoima, this is analogous to. Somebody sells an object to his friend. The Nim Seishan terms it's not his. You have to give him what you promised him. So evidently there's the Kamraki puts out. How is this a riot to it? If it's just simple logic, how's a riot to Reish Lakish? So it says it must have been a Bryce or a Memra, which is stated along these lines. So if the chayvitz you gave originally was worth more than the one you were obligated to give him, let's say you promised the chayvitz worth $100, you actually gave him a chayvitz worth $150. When he loses the chayvitz, the Baruch has to give him his own chayvitz, which is equivalent in value to the first one, even though it's much more than he promised, in order to sustain his Ne'emanus. So he's giving them more than he was chayav to give. So he promised to give 100. He gave 150. The 150 objects taken away. Now he has to give 150. That's the tefillah. Okay. The whatever is tacked on, as Kabnoki would say yesterday, the chometz and the what was the other thing? The chometz and koli, chometz and the toasted grain. So here too, he has to give to the tefillah has to be given. According to Meir, it's given to the Ba'abais. According to Abban, it's given to the Poalim. But in any event, the tefillah is part of the tashlumin that the person has to give to the actually. The machas pav is chacham truma, where he has to pay the keren, and they have to pay the chomesh. Where Meir would say they pay the keren and chomesh, and he pays the sudasan, but he also has to pay the ba'abais, has to pay whether it's the kohen or the he has to pay the workers or the guests. He has to pay them besides the original agreement, whatever it actually was worth. It was originally 100, and he gave them was 150. So he gave 150, including the tefillah. Okay, again, going to the Kabnakish pshat, the tefillah is the additional amount. It's going to Reish Lakish, fine. But according to Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yochanan says that the issue is Ikar Suda. In other words, who's got to pay for the Ikar Suda? Whether it's the Ba'abais or the Polim Norchim. But it's only the Ikar Suda. You don't give the extra amount. The extra Suda is 100. The additional tefillah is not, the extra 50 is not to be paid, doesn't have to be paid. So, says Gemara, that's not a problem. Right, Rabbi Yochanan is going to have to say this to about like Rabbi Meir, not Chachamim, because according to Meir, there is no, not at all, right? There's not paying, they're not paying anything. He's paying everything. So he pays the keren, well, they pay the chodesh, but he pays the keren. So if he's paying the keren, so therefore, he's got to pay all he has to pay is the whatever was truma. There's no additional payment. According to Rabbanan, there's additional payment perhaps. but because he's paying the workers, and the workers are promised more. But that doesn't work by Truma. By Truma, it's either Truma or innocent. But you're paying the Kohen. So therefore, since according to Rabbi Meir, since you're paying the Kohen, so therefore, you're paying the Kohen exactly what you owe him, the Tashlum Truma. Were you to pay the Suda to the workers, then you have to make up restitution, but that's not a Meir Shita. Make up the fair, that's not a Meir Shita. Rav Oshem said, Shvach Suda Menehu. The Rabbi Yosef wants to find a greater difference between the Mei Suda and Karen. And what's the case? When he decided he's going to pay, he made able to give them bread which is fried in honey, and it's worth much more than flour. And the truma was the value of the truma is flour. The value of the suda is bread with honey, right? So obviously the honey is not susceptible to truma. So he made up with them to eat to give them dushane chulin, and he gave them dushane truma instead. So in this case, if he has to pay for the ikar suda to the kohen, what does he have to pay? Just the value of the flour. That's always truma. But if he has to pay if the workers or the guests are paying the ikar suda to the kohen, and the Baal Boss is paying the Dmei Suda to the workers and to the guests, it's giving them much more. Because it's not just giving the value of the Truma, which they have to give as restitution, but the value of Dushani, which is much, much more. So before we were saying that the difference between the Dmei Suda and the Truma is negligible. Or at least we didn't come on to what the difference between the two of them. But now we're saying there could be a significant difference. The Shvach Suda. So I'm not sure actually we clarified there before what that means. The Mei Suda versus the Karen. But now we see clearly that the Mei Suda can be a lot more substantial than the Karen, and when there is concept of Mei Suda according to Chachamim, the Baal Bais has a lot more money. Okay, so the Mar asks, basic question. What are you paying them for? They already ate. They got the duf shani. What are you paying? So, they ate. You made it to give them food, you gave them food. What's the problem? But we have to give them, okay, you gave them truma. You shouldn't have done that, but what's the made you give them? So command them. So this is going to the opinion that in Bechairos, the Bechairos Daf Lamed Zayin, that Chachamim say Tvolim, a person does not like eating them retroactively. When he realizes they tevel, he feels bad. He would love to regurgitate it, even if he can't. So therefore, all they it's like Kosein Enu Shavali, like Haman says, right? So when he eat it, he retroactively, from the time they become aware that they ate something usher, it turns to ashes in their mouths. So you have to give them all their money. So Meir holds like Shem laws are there in Chayros that Tvolim are not from the things that a person finds repugnant. So therefore, he only has to. So according to Chachamim, you have to give them a whole Dmei Suda. Here also, it's not really tevel, it's truma, which they shouldn't be eating, but it's the same principle, right? So so that it's the nafsham kotza bezer. So according to Chachamim, you have to give them the full Dmei Suda, right? According to Meir, evidently they're not kotza in that, so therefore they got what they needed to get. All that has to be done is make restitution to the Kohen. So therefore, that's the Baal Bais who pays the Kohen the Ikar Suda. Okay. He says here in the Kavanaki, the word chata is from the language of Morachem Echitchem, Beishis Perektes Pasuk Beis, or Visha Hamizgav v'chata Zero Mem Ches Pasgal. Lashon Pachanem Shever, because somebody eats Dover Isser, Libo Nokfov and Nishbar Bekirbo. His heart bothers him and is broken in his inside of him. Okay, the next part of the Gemara goes on Gonav Trumas Ekdish. So the Mishnah said, Gonav Trumas Ekdish. V'achla Mishayim Shtei Chumash V'Karen She'ein Ekdish Tashlim Mekepel. It's not Tashlim Mekepel. I'm right behind studying in Masnisa. And he said, the two chumashim, it says in our Mishnah, you pay two chumashim. It's not necessarily literally two chumashim, but there are two types of chumash. If I give one chumash, either or. Yesh v'gazayis ve'imashava bruta. If there, you ate a gazayis of the truma, of the truma slash hekdesh, but it's not shava bruta, there's no mila. So mishayim b'shevet, then you pay the shevet for what you ate. Because there is, you ate truma surah, you have to make restitution, even though it's like Plusha Pruta. So you give a Kazayis, so Chulim Nutukanim to the Kohanim. Yesh B'Shav Ruta, Ve'emo Kazayis. If it is a Shav Pruta, on the other hand, it doesn't have Kazayis, so you're over Meila, because it's Shav Pruta. You were not over Achilas Isser Truma. So therefore, you don't have to give anything to a Kohen, you give the value of the Meila, B'Shalim B'Kodesh to Hekdesh. Yesh B'Kazayis, Yesh B'Pruta. Okay, what about if it had both? Right, with both the Kazayas and Pruta. Shim Barba Shem Rabbi Yonason says, B'Shalim B'Kodesh. You pay to the Kodesh, the Keren B'Chomesh, and there is no, you're exempt from the Keren B'Chomesh of Truma. Yechom Hashem B'Shevet, vice versa. You pay the Shevet to the Chomesh to the Shevet, and you pay the Keren to Hekdesh, but your Yaitz also the Chomesh and Elo with the Chomesh you pay to the Shevet. How so? Amzer Xeris Kosavi. Xeris said, what's the Shim Barba saying in the name of Rabbi Yonason? That's the Xeris Kosav, where it says, Ish Kiyocha Kodesh Bishkoga. It says, Kiyocha Kodesh Bishkoga, this end of the post says, Chamishi So Yosef Olav. Right? It's Chamishis, you add on it. Chamishi So, this is from the Kamraki according to the Rav folder. Chamishi So, it's Chomish. In other words, only one Chomish. Wherever the Karen goes, that's where the Chomish goes. Only one Chomish. There's no double jeopardy on Chomish, right? Presumably, Rabbi Yochanan says we pay the Shevet because he doesn't hold of that Xeris Kosav, and evidently he holds that that you can go to 2 different places. But again, there's only one Chomesh because the kapara for the Truma also is going to be mechaper on the Aver of the Meila, which it doesn't really explain why it should be that way, but that's what you clearly hold. I don't see anybody who specifically explains Rabbi Yochanan, but the assumption evidently is like Kedei Rishosai. You can be chai. Once you mechaper, you mechaper. There aren't 2. You don't require 2 kaparas. I don't know. Kedei Rishosai is the best example, but it's a similar principle. Who it goes to, goes to whoever is more logical. In this case, he also goes to the Kohanim because they're dealing with it was Shuma before it was Hekdesh. So the first Zika which came on it was Shuma, but by definition, unless you eat again and it's a Chomesh al Chomesh, it's only one kapara, and that kapara, the Chomesh, goes to one place. It can go to either one. It's not mechurach that it goes to the same place as the Karen, but it can go to the Shevet here, but there's only one Chomesh. Rav Kahana, and then concluding the Gemara, no, it doesn't want so much to Kipshuto. He says, Hanamar B'Sham Shtei Chumashim. Chomesh Shevet, Chomesh Lekdish. There's the Mishnah Kipshuto. There's 2 Chumashim. And we'll give the double Chomesh. Takaduni could do kaparas. One for the Chet of Mila, one for the Chet of Truma. There is, but She'em Hekdesh Shlomei Keva, there is no Shlomei Keva by Hekdesh. So the Chomesh, wherever it goes, whether single or double, etc., seems Shlem Shlem Reu below the Hekdesh. But there's no double payment to Hekdesh. Okay, that brings us to ready to on to the next next plot. So we'll stop here.